Love is beautiful, but sometimes it just takes a while for us to learn what it really is about. Love takes patience and it takes effort, but love is also an experience that fills life with color and makes our time on earth so special and magical. It's not a constant whirlwind romance that we see in fairy tales or a prince charming sweeping us off our feet, but more of an everyday decision to treat ourselves and those around us with kindness and respect. It means to prioritize what is important to us and to nurture the relationships and aspects of our lives that really matter. It's not just to experience the highs and the lows, but to embrace the true spirit of growth, generosity, kindness that makes life fulfilling and worth our while. As Ruby Kaur once said, how you love yourself is how you teach others to love you. And this is what it really means to love. Realizing that love started with myself gave me the freedom to fall in love with life all over again. If you were to spend the rest of your life with one person, who would you choose? When I first heard this question, I started to critically list the traits that I wanted in my future partner. I thought about the values this person would have and the personality they would possess. Kindness towards others, quick wit, and a good sense of humor, curiosity towards the world, eagerness for life, generosity, and hard work. But then it dawned on me that there is no one person that I will ever really spend my whole life with. Nobody but with the exception of me. I was the one person that I would spend my whole life with, and I could choose who I wanted to become. We can rely on our friends and families during our times of need, but they cannot always be there in every moment of our lives because they have their own lives to live as well. So I'm learning slowly that the most important relationship we will ever have is the one with ourselves. It's how we pamper our aching backs to a massage each weekend and how we laugh when we catch ourselves with mismatching socks. It's our excitement to start that new book and our enthusiasm for the sunrise from our bedroom window. It's forgiving ourselves when we fail the test and learning to do better by trying again and again and again. It may take some twists and turns to figure out self-love, or as Emma Watson calls it, self-partnership. But at least this way, we will start to learn to fill our own cups and maybe one day learn to fill the cups of someone else's too. The world is your oyster. This is the truth, I promise you. There are so many people in this world, and we can find some level of attraction to almost everyone. Attraction can come in various shapes and forms, and they can be categorized into 5 main types, namely physical, financial, mental, emotional, and spiritual. I love admiring the way well-built broad shoulders sway when walking, and treating myself to the sight of furrowed brows concentrating on a slide deck presentation, and even being in awe of the way complicated concepts are lucidly broken down into simple words. For you, the specific area of interest or attraction may be different, but we can all feel chemistry towards someone's specific physical attributes, mental capacity, as well as financial status and achievement. On top of all this, I'm also learning that even though chemistry may be easy to find, for a successful long-term relationship, there is also a very important need for emotional and spiritual attraction because this determines our level of compatibility. True success of relationships is based on our ability to empathize and care for each other. It is our willingness to celebrate our partner's recent promotion and share the highs, but it's also about providing compassion during the stressful times and supporting each other through the lows. Spiritually, two people need to align on their core values to build trust and respect for each other. Whether it is prioritizing an anniversary over work during a week of pressing deadlines, or coming clean with a mistake when omission of it may avoid immediate confrontation, or even listening to what the other person has to say before bringing in your point of view. Understand the values that are important to us and align them with our partners to really create an unshakable bond built on respected boundaries and shared values. They say a heart that's been broken is a heart that's been loved. It took time for me to accept that it's okay for relationships to end. It's hard, I know. To say goodbye to someone whom we have bared our hearts and souls to let go of a future we thought was ours, and to face a void that we have no idea how to feel. It's like a piercing dagger to a heart, shattering it into a million irreparable pieces. The pain translated into days on a bed in tears is okay. Just know that this is only a phase that will help us to gain acceptance of a loss. We may believe that it is the end of our worlds, but it is not. It's only the end of a chapter. And when a chapter closes, just remember that another one will begin. Sometimes letting go of the old is making space for the new. We make space for ourselves to reflect on lessons learned from the past relationship so that we understand what we really want in life or in our next relationship. We make space to spend quality time with our friends and build new meaningful connections. We also make space to begin a journey of self-discovery and new hobbies to realize the passions that we never had time to try. We make space to fall in love with life all over again. Lastly, when we accept the quote-unquote worst-case scenario, we realize that everything else is a bonus, and in the end, everything will be okay. The worst that could happen is that we stay single for life. But is that really so bad? I used to think that being alone meant being lonely. But the truth is, being alone can be when we actually feel the most alive, because we are in full control of our time and we are engaging in things that really bring us fulfillment. Conversely, I have felt the most lonely when I wasn't alone. We may be surrounded by people and yet not feel like we really belong. When we find ourselves focused on someone else's life more than our own, we lose the connection that we have with ourselves, and we realize that we have not built a life that enriches us. Despite having our schedules packed full with social activities, we feel lonely. So what truly matters is how we choose to spend our time and who we choose to surround ourselves with. The reality is that we don't need anyone else to complete us because we are innately whole. In other words, we don't need anyone else to complete us because we are already complete. A healthy relationship is when two independent individuals that have learned to meet their own emotional needs decide to unite and share memories together. It is only then that we will be able to fill our own cups and have enough to fill the cups of others too. And when we are ready, we can then add value to each other and really grow as individuals together. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed making it, and I will see you in the next video.